Hello, and welcome to Hot Tea with Holly. I got a brand new, fresh, super hot cup of tea, and I am Holly, and we are live. How are you? Happy Tuesday. I am here live every Tuesday, 1 o'clock on the East Coast, on my Holly Perkins Fitness page on Facebook, and one of these days we will be back live on Instagram as well. But not today, because today I have a very special segment that I am super excited about. Sit tight for that. But first, let's talk about tea. If you are with me, if you are here with me live and you are having a cup of tea, please share. What are you having today? You know, it's funny. I actually sat down to do a cup of Harney & Sons Japanese sencha, which is one of my favorites. No joke, you guys. I got about halfway through it. There's still some in there. You can't see it. Got about halfway through it. And then I decided I really wanted a cup of black tea. And so I'm a sucker for the PG tips with a little bit of maple syrup. And so that is what I'm drinking today. It is a stormy fall, wintry type day in Pennsylvania. Please say hello. If you're here with me live, say, hey, how's it going? What's up? Are you drinking a hot beverage or a cold beverage? Or what is your beverage of choice? I'm here every Tuesday to share a cup of hot tea with you and just dish on some of my favorite topics. And so today, I'm super excited about this segment. I'm going to be bringing one of my good friends, Laura, into the studio to join us here on screen for a little interview and a little share of her journey. If you are someone who up until now have believed that getting in shape or achieving a better body or your dream body weight is either impossible or it doesn't work for you or it has to be absolutely grueling and difficult, today's episode is for you. So I asked Laura to join us today. She's inside of my small group mastermind called The Masters right now. And Laura and I have actually worked together for quite a few years. We've known each other for a while. She's been inside of some of my other programs that I'm getting to work with her more closely now. And her story is incredible. So recently, last week, I think it was, she sent me over her most recent progress photos. And we're going to talk about progress photos in a moment. But her progress photos were so good that I had to check the dates on them, because I thought maybe the dates between the two progress photos were farther apart than they actually were. And what I found out is that there were literally only 13 days between her before and after photo that I'm going to share with you in just a little bit. And when I saw it, I was like, holy bunch of swear words. Holy cow, how did this happen? And we have to share this story with you because it's really impressive. Now, there aren't really any secrets here. There's no magic. There's no waist trainers. There's no fat burners. There's no extreme dieting. There's nothing I'm trying to sell you. I'm not even trying to sell you a cup of tea. But one of these days I will get a tea sponsor and then I will be trying to sell you some tea. But for today, I'm not. It's just because I absolutely love my tea this time of day. And I thought it would be fun to have an awesome conversation with you. So what we're going to be talking about is showing you a real life example of what's possible when you, number one, decide that you want to improve your body, whether that's get stronger, get leaner, potentially achieve an ideal body weight on the scale if that's for you, or to just feel better and feel more empowered. And I'm going to show you that if that's something you want to do, it's absolutely possible. But the truth is, a lot of women that come my way over the years, I hear a regular story where they've started doubting whether it's even possible, especially if you're over 37. This conversation is even more so for you if you're over 37, in your 40s or 50s or even 60s. In fact, I have quite a few women in their 70s in my community now, which I'm very, very proud of. So I want to share with you, A, what's possible, but also B, Laura's going to be joining us so that you can hear directly from her a little bit about her experience, her journey from last year to where she is right now, what her journey has looked like, what her training program has looked like, what her nutrition has looked like. And I want you to see what are some of the mindset changes or just things in the background that have really happened as a result of this body transformation she's had, and or the mindset things that she had to shift in order to achieve these insane and amazing, insane results. So stick around. This is going to be a good one. Listen, if you're watching this in playback or recording either on my blog or over on YouTube, I hope you'll say hello. I'm Holly Perkins. It's so nice to meet you. I help women use strength training and intentional nutrition to transform your body so that you can create the body that you need to keep up with the life that you love, and so that you can enjoy your life even more. Because really what it boils down to is you need this physical body, this vehicle that you're walking through life in, to really support you, to be strong, to be healthy, to be energetic. And guess what? When your body feels good, you feel good. And I know out there in the world, there is this notion that in order to be happier or to live your best life or to be supremely confident or empowered, that it's an inside job. And while to some degree I believe in that, I also don't believe it's the whole story. I believe that you can achieve an up-levelment in your life by working on your physical body. When you get stronger, when you get leaner, when you become more fit, your biology changes. Your brain neurotransmitters change. You become healthier, you become better, and you start to think differently. Your mood starts to be better. And guess what? Your hormones get optimized as well. So it really is possible to improve who you are, how you think, how you feel about yourself, your self-esteem, your self-confidence through improving your physical body. It doesn't only have to be an inside job. So if you ever want to join me live, if you're watching this in playback, come on over to Facebook, Holly Perkins Fitness on Facebook, every Tuesday, 1 o'clock on the East Coast. And one of these days we'll be on Instagram as well. Say, hey, what is up? Before my coffee gets cold, my tea gets cold, tell me what you are drinking. I am so curious. Holly Miles is here. Hello, Holly is being a good student and drinking her water. Good for you. Water is always a great choice. Heidi, how are you feeling? I got to tell you, Heidi and I had a workout together inside of the Masters, and it was a doozy of a workout. I was hurting, but guess what? I took a shower. I had some good food. Heidi, I'm feeling awesome. And I'm so darn proud of myself that I did my highest deadlift that I've done in a couple of years, you guys. I had my new PR for the last couple of years on my deadlift today, and it felt so stinking good. Heidi is having a cup of calm by Traditional Medicinals, and it's lavender mint. I love it. And Lois is here. Lois, guys, let's talk tea for a moment. I got my lychee black tea thanks to Lois. I ordered it. I think I got it on Friday. Lois, good suggestion. Lychee black tea from Herney and Sons, same company. Again, if you're popping in live, no, this is not sponsored. No, they have no idea who I am. No, I don't make any money if you drink tea or not. It's just a passion. It's just something that I love. And the lychee black tea. Now, I got to admit, I'm brewing it a little on the strong side with a little bit of maple syrup, and it is absolutely amazing. Hello, is that Elizabeth? Hi, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, PG Tips Gold. Yes, ma'am. Let's see. Facebook user, when it's done steeping, I will be having my apple pie oolong. Is this Tracy? Who is this? Who's Facebook user? Apple pie oolong. This sounds familiar. You've told us about this before, and I'm looking forward to this episode. I love hearing people's stories. You're going to hear an incredible story. Lois is having her lychee tea. I love it. Love it. Love it. You and me, girl. It was delish. Bonita, hello. Amy Rizzuto, hello. Nina Barbari, hello. And Heidi. Okay, guys, let's get to this. So I want to bring Laura into the conversation with us. so that she can join. Laura, I see you drinking your tea. I almost got you mid-sip. I could see you off camera drinking your tea just as I was adding you to the stream. Okay, what are you drinking?
I am drinking Tezo Zen tea, which is kind of my go-to when I'm at
Yep.
work. It's a little green caffeine
Yep.
that gives me a little zen.
Is Zen the one? I know it's a green tea. Is it the one that's got mint in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. I used to drink it. Remember the days when Starbucks carried the original line of Tezo? I call it
Yes.
Tazo, but they had the original line there. They had the Zen, and then they had the other, I forget what they called it, but it was just like a basic green.
Yeah.
From Tazo. That, you guys, was actually one of the very first teas that got me drinking green tea, believe it or not. That one, the Zen and the other, were what broke my coffee habit when I started drinking green tea. And then I got real snobby. And I started drinking loose leaf green tea, and now I'm real snobby about my tea. But that is a good one. I'm so glad you're here, you guys. Welcome, Laura. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me. I just have to say, I love this community and I love working with you, Holly. So I feel honored to be here today.
Oh my gosh. Well, we are the ones for real that are honored. And I'm going to do another introduction for anybody who might be popping in, late on the live side or watching this in playback. I'll do another introduction in a moment, but really and truly, I feel like we are the ones that are blessed to get to hear your story. You guys, really, it's incredible. And I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try, I think I can, to share some of Laura's photos. And she's actually even given me permission to share one of her recent video submissions where she's demonstrating a barbell back squat, just to kind of show you what it looks like and to maybe even workshop it together with Laura. But I want to do another introduction. So Laura has been in my sphere for a while. How far back do we go? How long have you been around here? Years, right?
Years, yeah. It's been at least 2 years, and I was kind of a creeper before then. I did followed you and did some of your, kind of workouts, and then just jumped right in at one point and did a challenge. So
I love it.
been a
Yeah, I was
journey.
going to say it's been a few years because I think you came onto my radar during the comeback, right?
Yes.
That's when we kind of started to have an open dialogue, and it grew from there. So definitely goes back a couple of years, you guys, maybe even 3 years at this point, that Laura's been in my community. And I really do try so hard to get to know everyone who's in my community. Even if you're not inside one of my paid programs, if you talk at me, I try to get to know you, and I really make a very concerted effort to get to know everyone in my community. And Laura then ended up joining the Glutes Project and went through the Glutes Project. So we got to spend some time there. Then she was part of the Next Level, which is one of my small group coaching programs. Was that this year? Wait, what's this 20? Did you do the next level this year, or was that 2020?
It was 2020. I started the Next Level.
Okay, perfect. So last year you did the Next Level. And then this year she's inside of a kind of a secret mastermind that I have called the Masters. And it's an invitation only small group coaching program that is exclusively only for people who've coached with me before. So now we're really getting to know each other.
Yeah.
And the reason why I tell this long part of the history is, number one, it's important for you to know that body transformation can take time. Yes, you can get fit fast. Yes, you can lose weight fast. Yes, you can have a 90-day transformation. Absolutely. But a lot of times it's a longer journey. For most of us to really have a big transformation, it's a longer journey. Sometimes that's 6 months. Sometimes that's a year. Sometimes that's a few years. And that's normal. That's the secret that the fitness industry doesn't tell you. They don't want you to know this because it's harder to sell a 6-week program if they were actually going to say, it takes longer than 6 weeks. So it's a secret in the fitness industry, and unfortunately one of those things that marketers use. But the truth is, you're going to hear about Laura's story and her journey top to bottom. We're going to share a photo from 2020 to now. And I bet if you have photos prior to 2020, if we go back to the comeback, I bet you're like grand before and after is even more impressive. Would you agree?
Yeah, I was probably a redhead when we first started. So it's been a long time.
I love it. We should see, I'm going to ultimately share this episode on my blog. If you can find photos going back to like the comeback or 2017, 2018, it would be so fun to just see how you've changed in all of the ways and add it to the story. It'd be super cool.
Yeah, I'll see what I
So
can do.
yeah, I would love it. And I would love to see you as a redhead. I don't know that I remember you as a redhead.
Probably not. That's when I was just a stalker.
I love it. I think you would make a fabulous redhead. And is this totally natural, your color?
Yeah, this is all me.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, people pay a lot of money to get hair color like that.
Yeah,
For real.
it's actually kind of part of this whole journey of changing my body. I said, I'm being my authentic self. So I
I
just
love
went.
it. So huge. It's so great. So great. So I think it was last week, Laura sent over her most recent before and after. No, it's not really a before and after. It's her most recent progress photos. I'm going to share them with you in a moment. And inside of the masters, one of the requirements is that you take progress photos every 2 weeks. Now, part of it is because it serves as great accountability. Part of it is we want to chronicle your journey, but a big part of it is so that I, as your coach, am able to make sure that your body is changing in the ways that we want, that you're not getting out of balance with your musculature, that your posture is improving, that you're not developing any asymmetries between your arms or your legs. So part of it is just so that I can ensure you are training your body appropriately. So Laura sent over her 2-week progress photos and I opened them up and I was confused for real. I had this moment where I was like, wait a second, these are supposed to be 2-week progress photos, but they literally looked like there were at least 4 weeks or more between these two photos. And I stopped and I checked the dates and I checked in with Jennifer and I did a little like research to find out there was actually only 13 days between these photos. And I was like, wait a second, what? And did I reach out to you to confirm the date?
You did.
Yeah.
And that was honest. That was honest. But
I
I was
know.
in a really good spot going in because of my prior training. So
yeah. And, I even said to her, I was like, how many days? It's supposed to be 14 days, but was it 15 or 16 or 17? And she was like 13. And I was like, what? So that is what prompted today's interview, because I want you to hear from Laura some of the things that helped her do this, because at some point, you're not going to believe me when I tell these stories because I'm an expert, because I've been doing it. But when you see that regular women just like you and me are out there really having incredible transformations, it's so inspiring. So we're going to be talking a lot about the details, the tips, the mindset shifts, the journey. I've got lots of photos that I'm going to share with you. I'm going to try and even share with you her barbell back squat. So if you already have questions, go ahead and post them in the comments now. And if you're watching this in playback, you're just not going to be able to leave a live comment. You're going to have to join us live. Okay, so please hold. I know you can still hear me, even though we lost my feed. I'm back. I am going to share, if I can. Okay, we're going to share my screen. Oh, this is where it gets tricky, you guys. There we go. I think I did it. Okay. I'm going to share with you first the photo that Laura sent me. Can you see that, Laura?
I can. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Just what I love.
Okay, that's not it. That's actually not the one that I wanted to share. Hold on.
That's the 2-week.
Yep. Stop sharing. Hold on. Bear with me, guys, because I'm still learning this technology.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Heidi.
Is it not that one? It's that one, I thought. It's that one right there. Share. Why is that not coming up? Let me come over here. Hold on. Okay. Can you see that, Laura?
Yeah, it's the 13-day photo.
It is. So It's your blue bikini on the left, right?
Yep.
Okay, beautiful. Woo-hoo. I'm getting there, you guys. Learning the technology. Sharing your screen is no easy feat. Okay, here we go. This is the photo that Laura sent me, and I just love that. I love the tongue out. Oh, you know what I also wanted to share was your your bikini dressing room photo.
When I bought the bikini,
Yes, if you have it, send it over via email if you can, or maybe I can find it, because that one also was like so incredible and amazing. So what I want to point out here, guys, I want you to just kind of quickly look left to right and just notice all the changes. I'm going to point them out to you, but listen, there's 13 days between these two photos. And I'm going to walk you through the changes that I see and the things that are noteworthy, because to someone who doesn't necessarily know how to assess progress photos, you might not see everything at first glance. But if you look left to right, it's pretty astounding to see how much progress is here in 13 days. First, look at her tummy. Look at the silhouette along the outer edge of her torso, her waistline, and where it comes down to her hands, from the top of her bathing suit and down through her midline. It's smoother, it's tighter, it's smaller. If you can imagine having put a tape measure around her tiniest part of her waist on the left versus the waist on the right, there's a big difference in that circumference measurement. Her tummy and torso in general is just so much leaner, tighter, cleaner. You can see it through her lower belly. And then take a good look at her legs. Holy cow, there is a big, big difference in your legs here. I mean, that's where I was like, what? Between your tummy and your legs in 13 days? This is pretty substantial. It's very substantial. Her legs have a different shape. They look leaner. They look more athletic. Now, listen, I know the lighting is a little bit different, but if you look at her left upper thigh on the outer edge and you see that definition coming in, and then you just look at the musculature in general along the front of her thighs, it's what we call the quad sweep. It's really impressive. For 13 days, here, let me show you the backside photo. Okay, Laura, you can see that, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. I'm going to figure this out one of these days, how to get it really, really right. So I'm coming back. Don't worry. So this was another photo that I was like,
Wait, I can
wait,
only see the front.
you only see the front right now?
Yep.
Okay, hold on one second. Stop share. Share again. Hold on. Share screen. Window. We want to share this one. Share. Can you see it now?
Oh, yeah.
Woohoo!
I love to see my backside on.
Holy cow, you guys. This was when I was like, wait a minute. Wait, what? I also got to tell you, Laura, I giggled so hard that like the back of your sports bra is just like off center. And I'm like, that's one of those like days when you're just in a hurry to get the damn bathing suit on and get your progress photos taken. It adds to the before and after,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
A little comedy here. Okay, you guys, I cannot wait to point this out to you. So if you can't already see it, holy cow, like really and truly, when I saw this, I was like, there is no way there's only 13 days between these photos. So number one, look at her booty. Holy cow. Her bottoms are fitting her completely differently. Her butt is cleaner. It's more lifted. It's got better shape. The back of her thighs are cleaner. Look at her upper back and the way that her sports bra or bathing suit, this is a bathing suit, is fitting around that back underarm area. So that back strap of the bathing suit, if you look along the sides of her silhouette to how much less body mass is just there around the bottom of her bathing suit strap, that is crazy. That's progress that I normally see in like a few months of working with people, for real. Look at her right arm and how much smaller and leaner it is. And then this was the one that I was like, wait a minute, what? So take a look at her torso, her lower back, her mid back, underneath the bathing suit strap. On the right side of her body, the photo on the left, the before photo, can you see that dark fold, that definition on the left side of her waistline? Sorry, the right side of her waistline, left-hand photo. I don't have a pointer, so I can't like highlight it and show you guys. I don't think, maybe you can see this. But right here, there is on that right side, there is a dark just fold from just body mass, let's call it. And when you look at these most recent photos 13 days later, it's gone, completely gone, totally gone. And that is something that I don't see very often. And that's when I was like, wow, her body fat came down substantially in 13 days. There probably could have been a little bit of a water adjustment. We're going to talk about your diet. I want to talk about what happened in these 13 days. But this was really crazy. So let's pause for a moment and just talk about this, because I know we're also going to share your 2020 to now. I'll share that photo in a moment too. But let's talk for a minute about what happened in those 13 days. Where were you going into the photo on the left? And then what happened in those 13 days that you feel was either relevant or you feel were the habits that you cleaned up? Tell us about those 13 days.
So I was pretty fit going into the 13 days. I knew I was starting the next level, and I was doing the masters, and I had been in the middle of redoing our next level workout. So I was pretty fit. Um, I was headed on vacation, which is a big motivator, right? For 2 weeks. So we started the program, and I knew I was going to go on vacation in 2 weeks. So I really had to kick it into gear. The biggest changes for me was getting back on track with my diet. And we have talked about this so many times, just the little adjustments that you make, being mindful. I cut out sugar. I cut out alcohol. I watched my kind of carbs, what kind of carbs I was eating, and just really focused in. I hit my macros. I did my kind of intermittent fasting just 1 day a week. It helped me that much. It just kind of pushed it to that next level. And I hit every single workout and showed up for every single workout. No excuses.
Okay, so tell us every single workout, what did that look like during those 13 days? What were you doing each week?
So I did 3 strength training sessions. I mean, challenging, right? But doable. And it takes me about an hour and 10 minutes or an hour and 15 minutes to get through those strength trainings. And this series that we're doing, it's a challenge, right? I feel worked out, but just 3 strength training sessions, and then 3 to 4 cardio sessions, 2 intermittent and 2 steady states. And my cardio is so much different than it used to be. I used to
Tell us
do these,
about it.
yeah, I used to do these crazy, I always thought I had to do all this, high intensity training workouts. And actually, I think before I started working with you, that's what I was doing. And I didn't see any results. And I was doing burpees and then squats and then, trying to do pull-ups. And it was crazy. And I was just sore and tired and not getting anywhere all the time. And I'd see all these, amazing transformation. And I work so much smarter, and my cardio I do is not near as intense as I used to do.
Where's your heart rate during a steady state workout?
It's about 135. Now I'm 54, so that doesn't really match up with my age, but I know that my max heart rate is 180. So
Okay.
I have to adjust for, my fitness level and my
Yep.
heart rate.
Yep.
So 135, and
Which is still 135.
yeah,
A lot of people would look at that and go, that's it? Really? 135? Psh, that's easy. And that's what's crazy, is that here is the proof, right? Laura has no reason to be dishonest. I have no reason to sell you into anything. You can't get into the masters. I don't have any other programs I'm trying to sell. I mean, this is 100%, you're hearing it directly from someone who has done it, that it doesn't have to be these intense, grueling, high intensity workouts in any way, shape, or form. So while we, as you said, the challenge of your strength workouts was challenging, would you
yes.
say they were grueling? Like, could you talk about the quality of what it would feel like inside of one of those strength workouts?
Yeah, so I lift heavy. I push myself on my weight limits all the time. And especially on my legs. My legs are strong and I can do quite a bit of weight. But I try every time to do every set so that the last 2 are challenging. And you know what? Every day that's a little bit different, right? Like some days I can hit my personal record And other days I have to go significantly lower, but I try to just find that place for me where I can hit those. But I also want to make it through the whole workout, right? I don't want to skimp on any of my reps, on any of my supersets. So I try to find that balance, and I've just really learned what that is for me. And then so important to do the rest sessions in between the supersets.
And why is that? Why do you find the rest phase between the supersets? Why do you find that's important?
Usually when I get done with a set, so if I'm doing deadlifts, right, which I love and hate and are so hard and work every part of your body, for me to mentally and physically go back into that space, I need that rest. I take a big drink of my water with my hydration tablet in it. I mentally think about, okay, one down, one more to go. I can do this. I give myself a little pep talk. I take the Heidi advice now and give myself this little, you can do this.
You can do this. Okay. Say it out loud. Heidi is another one of the members of the Masters. And she shared with us how on those tough days, she literally talks out loud to herself. Okay. You can do this. One more. So, and I think that's really noteworthy. Thank you for sharing that, because that's what I mean when I say each set should be work that you need the rest.
Yeah.
If you guys watching are doing your strength workouts and you're kind of like, I don't need the rest. I know Holly told me to rest, or my program said to rest. I don't really need it. That means that your intra-set intensity, the intensity of the set, isn't quite as challenging as we want it to be. You should need that rest. You should be like, oh, thank God, I got to collect myself to go back in for the next set. Now, it doesn't have to be torture. It doesn't have to be grueling, but it should definitely be work.
Yeah. You need to increase that weight or slow it down.
Yeah. So I want to recap, because I know that people jump in and jump off of these live sessions. In a moment, I'm going to share with you Laura's 2020 to 2021, her year and a half journey, because it was June, July, August, September, October, November, year and a half, 18-month progress photos. I'm going to share those with you in a moment. I was going to say one other thing. Hold on. Oh, poop. What was I going to say? I'm going to share that photo. Oh, I know. But to recap, what I wanted to share is that in those 13 days where we saw this incredible transformation, what Laura did was 3 strength workouts each week. Did you do any the add-on segments?
I did not. I did a few extra ab things because I was going to be wearing my bikini.
Yeah.
But I didn't do any of the
proper add-on. Okay. So 3 strength training workouts each week, an hour, 60 to 70 minutes, 2 interval cardio workouts, and 2 steady state, but sometimes there was only 3 in total. So anywhere between 3 or 4 cardio workouts per week. And that was it, right? Were you doing anything else? That was it.
That was it.
For workouts. Now she dialed her nutrition in. We'll talk about that in a moment. But I wanted to point that out because a lot of people think that to have this kind of a transformation in 13 days, that you have to work out twice a day, every single day. And you just don't. Did you do any fasted workouts?
No, those don't work for me. I work out at 5 a.m. and I work out hard and then I go to work. And so I have to have something in my stomach first thing in the morning. And I eat about 100 calories, 150 calories before I head to the gym.
And are you keeping an eye on how much of those calories are protein and carbs, or do you just kind of eat whatever you can stomach?
I have these little kind of the little love balls.
The love balls?
Yeah.
From the Nutrition Project, love balls. They're the best.
That's usually my go-to, or a half a banana and, a spoonful of peanut butter or something.
Okay. So you're strategic, but you're not super duper strategic with that pre-workout fuel, but you're getting something in. And that's super important because a lot of people think fasted workouts, right? And I am not a fan of fasted workouts ever. I feel that unless you are a pro, unless you're better at this game than me, you don't have the tools to successfully get through fasted workouts. It always comes back to bite you in the butt. So for those of you guys that are just jumping in, I want to share again, if I can. Here we go again. Laura's 13-day progress photo, because it is just crazy. Okay, hold on. Is that it?
That's it.
Is that it right there?
Yes.
Front facing.
Front facing.
Woohoo! Okay. I'm getting better. Getting better. 13 days, you guys. So I just shared with you what her workouts looked like in the 13 days between these two photos. And we're going to talk about her nutrition in a moment, because you heard her at the top of the segment share how her diet was a big part of it. And when I looked at this, I knew that the diet was a big part of it. One other question. Laura, would you say that in these 13 days, your workouts changed significantly as compared to the 13 days prior to the photo on the left? Did your workouts change significantly, or was it more about your nutrition?
I mean, I was already doing some heavy lifting, but we changed the programming. And
Okay.
that first week of changing the programming was tough. So
Okay.
I would say that first week, I was like, wow, Holly's serious this time. So
Yeah. Yep.
so I think it was a combination.
Okay.
But not, I mean, I was already lifting heavy. I was already doing cardio. I just changed what I did.
Okay. So let's talk about your nutrition, because you said in those 13 days, you really dialed in your nutrition, and you already shared some of the things that you did. And you specifically said, I cut out sugar and alcohol. Did you really cut it out completely, or did you just minimize it?
I cut it out for those 2 weeks. Typically, I allow myself 1 or 2 drinks during the week. But sugar, I've really tried to cut that out completely. Now, I had gone from a place of not tracking. Leading up to the next level, I kind of quit tracking, or to the masters. I kind of quit tracking. I was just kind of intuitively eating and working out. So I went from that, not really knowing where I was, to absolutely tracking.
Dialing it in. You cut out sugar, you cut out alcohol in those 13 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then talk to me about what the changes to your carbohydrates looked like.
Yeah, so I try to steer away from gluten. I'm not strict about it, and I don't have an allergy or any of those kind of really health reasons for doing it. I just find that it doesn't do well with my body, and I'm better fueled getting my carbs from other things. I found this stuff kamut. Do you know what this is?
I call it kamut. You and I pronounce things differently, but yes. And how do you make it? How do you use it? It's a grain. It's one of what we consider the ancient grains. And it is gluten-free. So similar to spelt, although spelt I think has gluten, but tell us how you're using it.
I put it in my Instapot when I'm doing my prep food on Sunday, and then I throw it in everything. I put it on my salad. I eat it yummy in the morning with just a little bit of butter and maple syrup and some fruit. That's my best way to do it. I just really like it. I like the texture.
Yeah.
I like kind of the little, carbs it gives you without, feeling kind of this bloated, heavy feeling. So.
I got to tell you, I'm so excited that you just mentioned it, because I forgot that could be something I would try. I've shared with many of you guys, and if anybody here is new, I really have a substantial autoimmune disorder, and it's kicking my butt, honestly. I have to be very careful with grains, all grains, not even just gluten, everything. And it's hard because I need carbohydrates. So to get enough carbohydrates, I'm so limited. But I'm glad you mentioned that, because I'm going to try it just to see if maybe my body tolerates it. So what do you do? Buy it in a bag dry? Where do you buy it?
Actually, one of my friends got it. There was somebody that had a big bulk order, and she left me this huge bag of it on my desk, and
I love it.
I just tried it. It kind of like feels like when I was a kid, my mom used to make that kind of stuff. It kind of is like, especially as we get in fall, it's like this, like cozy little treat.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Now let's talk about your nutrition.
Okay.
Prior to that photo from 13 days prior to that first photo, you were eating more freely, let's say. You weren't really conscientious of how much protein, how much carbohydrate, and how much fat you were eating. So in those 13 days, you got more strategic, more intentional with your nutrition. What did that look like in terms of were you conscious of your calories? What did your macronutrient distribution look like? What's your blood type? I'm curious.
Yeah, so I try to hit 40, 30, 30. And I wasn't really tracking. I kind of knew where I was before, but not really. And I would go ahead and, have a little extra if I felt like something. I let's see, what was the other part of that?
Okay. Were you conscientious of your calories when you started tracking?
Yes. I have a calorie goal that I try to stay within. It's about 300 calories that I stay within, and so it kind of depends on how I feel. And you
Mhm.
and I have workshopped this a lot because I'm very active first thing in the morning, and I kind of tend to preload a lot of my calories in the morning, and then I sit a lot during the day. I have an office job, and I tend to be chained to my desk most of the time. So, kind of that feeling of being okay with being a little hungry, you know,
Mhm.
like I've gotten comfortable with that. Not like to this place where then I want to eat everything in sight and fall off my plan, but just that little bit of I'm okay. My stomach is maybe a little hungry and I kind of want to eat, but I'll have a cup of tea and maybe we'll go from there. So that's kind of where I was at, trying to get most of my food in before 6 p.m., which is
Mhm.
sometimes a challenge when I'm at work till after 6 sometimes.
Mhm. How many calories were you aiming for?
I was aiming between 15 and 1700
I
calories.
love it. Amazing. And how tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I love about that though is 15 to 1700 calories. I have a lot of people inside of my programs kick back at me that they feel that's a lot of calories. And, that's like to be able to do that and to get leaner
Oh, yeah.
again is just such a big part of the
Yeah.
conversation here.
Yeah. And I know from experience of doing this that if I cut more calories, my body would just fight me. I've seen it happen time and time again. If I cut the calories and suddenly I'm like, why aren't I losing? My body fights me
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah. And that is part of the journey. A lot of people come in and they think, first of all, a lot of people don't want to track their energy, how much
Yeah.
food they're eating.
Yeah.
But it's really helpful when you do and you've got some wiggle room. But it's really there is a learning curve for a period of time of also figuring out exactly what does your body do at different energy in calorie levels,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of people want to go to 1200, 1300, 1400. And I have seen it quite a bit where it's like your body just fights you, to use your words, which were brilliant. And it's almost like there is this war going on because your body's not able to do what it needs to do to burn the body fat off. And again, one of the things that I wanted to highlight in this interview is she wasn't starving herself. She wasn't doing grueling workouts. She wasn't doing endless cardio, right? Now, cutting out sugar and alcohol could be tough for some people, but that's partially why she got such incredible results. And this was something that we workshopped last year during the next level.
Yeah.
So, if I may share, during the next level that Laura did with me last year, she was getting really, really good results. But I knew her results could be better and faster. And we had a couple of exchanges along the lines of, what do you really want? How much do you want it? Because it's those little, I call them embellishments in your nutrition that really do stall the fastest progress you can go after. And I remember seeing a difference in you back then when you really started to kind of make that mental shift.
Yeah.
So if you would share like that, the next level, right? And I just remember it so clearly. I have the chills for real. Like I remember it so clearly when you made that shift. And that was a mindset shift. So
Yeah.
talk to us about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we back up just a little bit to when, and I know we're going to talk about those two kind of drastic photos of where I started, but I was kind of the point in my life is this it, right? Do I have to accept that this is as good as it gets at this point? And I thought, I'm just going to try it one more time. I'm going to go all in. And part of that was really showing up and doing this for myself, right? And it was challenging, but not so much in the habits that I was changing, because I changed a lot of habits. For me, and I know everyone has their own journey, but it was kind of giving myself the permission to have honest discussions with myself and with those around me, right? Like your family and friends are not always in the spot with you. And they see you making changes and they see you doing this and they, maybe they poke fun at you. Maybe they, say, why do you want to just look better? And that's not what it is. Do I want to look better? Sure. I want to look better. Who doesn't? But it was this mental shift of making a change, that I can make big changes. And even if it makes other people uncomfortable. And for me, that was my why, right? We were kind of in this transition in our lives. We've just gone through COVID. I'm 54, my family's away from home, it changes. And how do I want to enter this next phase of my life? And I was not ready to say, I'm done, right? I'm fighting this. I'm going to go ahead and be the best that I can be. And I just, with Holly's help in coaching, she said, of course you can do this. Of course you can make changes. And I said, what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose? I'm going to go for it. And just that showing up for myself every day, that was key for me. And how that empowered me in all areas of my life. It's so much easier to have those open and difficult conversations with people from a place of grace and gratitude to myself and what I can do. And if someone else is willing to go with me in any conversation, right, then it's easier to get that done, because I'm just willing to go there a bit more than I was before.
Yeah. There was definitely a stark demarcation when you made that shift. And the vibe that I was getting at the time was sort of like, in some ways, you were doing the work. Definitely, you were doing solid, great work. But there was a part of you that was sort of like not really going for it, not fully going for it. And I could sense that. And you always have the choice. Everyone always has the choice. You don't have to always go for it. There are women that they don't really care, and that is okay too. But in my coaching programs, certainly, I always want to point it out and give people the choice. Look, if you really want to go for it, these are the changes you need to make. And I remember what a change that was. So I'll come back. I know you can't see me, but you can hear me. I found your dressing room photo. Can I share it?
Sure.
Yeah. So I want to share this with you guys because this was several months ago in between programs. And Laura sent me this photo via email just as kind of like an update. And again, I've got chills. What struck me about, there's just so much about this photo. I'm just going to share it. I'm just going to share it so that you guys can experience it with me. Let me know if you can see it. Can you see it? Are you able to see it, Laura?
Yeah, I can see it.
Perfect. So she sent me this, and to me, what just jumped out at me was so much around her mental shift, her fierceness, her confidence in herself, the fact that no one likes bathing suit shopping, right? The fact that she's looking sexy and fierce and wants to take a photo in the dressing room is a big deal, more so than what her body looks like. Like, it really even doesn't matter what your body looks like. For me, it was the fact that you're not in your 20s and you're buying a bikini. It looks amazing on you, and you are feeling so good about yourself that you flip the hair over and take a selfie.
Yeah.
And that to me was just like, whoa, like, it's that. I want every woman to feel that. And it has nothing to do with what your body looks like. It's getting to the place where you feel awesome in that bikini and you feel awesome in the dressing room, whether it's you're trying on bras or you're trying on a bikini or a bathing suit. And it just, this to me was just like so exciting. And I think really speaks to what we're talking about here in the change in your confidence, your empowerment, your fierceness. And I really see that in you. Would you agree?
Yeah, and I will even take that one step further, Holly, because not only did I take like, oh, I'm gonna take this photo because I feel good about myself. Took it one step further and I sent it to you
Yeah.
because I love all the positive reinforcement and community, and it was a safe place. I knew that I could send it to you and you were going to help me celebrate in this moment. And I just, that's so valuable to me.
Yeah. I mean, again, I have the chills now. Again, it was just like, again, those of you guys that are here live or watching in playback, like, really and truly hear me loud and clear. This is not about her having abs. This is not really even about what her body looks like. It's, can you imagine feeling so good about yourself in a dressing room, period, where the lights are terrible, the mirrors are terrible? You would think the marketers would figure this out, like fix the lighting in the mirrors in dressing rooms and women will buy more clothes, right? But to feel so good about yourself that you want to take a selfie, and then, as you said, that you're even willing to share it, is just so huge. And in all the different applications of it, every single woman has that for the taking. To feel so good about yourself and to feel good about your choices and what you've done with your body to get to the place where you want to take these photos and you feel fierce and embodied or sexy or sassy or whatever you want to call it. Hold on, that is really loud. What on earth is that? Oh, okay, sorry about that. Literally, can you hear that? It sounds like, oh dear. Sorry, it sounds like a helicopter. It's actually an industrial grass cutting machine. And I'm going to get interrupted in a moment by a very lovely, innocent soul who has no idea that I'm going live right now. She just figured it out. Sorry about that. So, but that is there for the taking for every single woman to know that, like, to feel better about yourself, to feel better in your body. And it doesn't have to do with what you look like is so huge.
No.
Now, the reason why I am sharing Laura's photos is because you need to see it. There is something about seeing the transformation in this world that we live in. It makes it extra powerful. Yeah. So what I want to share next, two things. First, what I want to share is your 2020 to now.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
So hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay. And, listen, by the way, there are a lot of women that will look at the photo on the left and wish that they looked like that. Please know that, everyone. So Laura's photo on the left from June of 2020 could be the goal for a lot of women. And that's perfectly acceptable. You are the goal, even where you started in 2020, because this is relative, you guys. This is relative. This is you against you. This is, are you happy with where your fitness is? And do you want your fitness or your body composition to be in a different place? So I just really, really want to say that, especially Laura, and hearing your about the photo, right? Because I know you don't love that photo on the left. And guys, this is, like I said, about 18 months of change here.
Yeah, I was happy to be at that June 2020 photo.
Yeah.
I felt pretty good about myself.
Yeah. Where had you been prior to June 2020?
So I'd gone through, I think, the comeback and maybe the glutes program. This was just before, let's see, January 2020, I tore my ACL skiing.
I remember.
And I had surgery March 2020. So I had kind of this, level where I couldn't get as much of the exercise as I wanted to. So I kind of, fell into a little sadness, and I was home during COVID. And if you actually look at the top photo, you can tell which leg I've had my surgery on. You can see the muscle tone on, if we're looking at the picture, the left-hand side, you can see that little,
Yep.
that's my non-surgery leg. You can
Yeah.
see the other knees swollen a bit.
Yep.
I mean, this was just 3 months. And I have to say that at that point, I was back to biking. I was back to walking. I wasn't running yet, but I was also lifting. And I worked with my physical therapist, and I worked with Holly to say, I'm not going to let this slow me down. But I lost 50% of my muscle in my surgical leg.
That's crazy.
50%. And I would say today, you can't really tell a difference.
Not at all. Yep. And just to be clear, your surgical leg was the left?
My left leg, yeah.
Your left leg. So in the left-hand photo that you guys are looking at, it's her left leg. And you can see, you can see the difference, how it's fuller, more swollen. And I was going to say the same exact thing. Your legs left to right look perfectly balanced to me. Your symmetry, I mean, you could tell it by the curvature of your inner thighs. So look at your inner thigh curvature down to your knees. Perfectly symmetric. I rarely see that. Rarely. I mean, it's incredible. Do you feel a difference in that leg during your workouts? Does one leg feel weaker than the other, or do you feel pretty balanced?
I feel pretty balanced. It feels, the surgery spot is, I still, it feels different, but I actually went back recently and got the strength tested, and they are within 2% of each other on strength. So,
Amazing.
and in some ways it's stronger because I intentionally built it. So depending on what exercise I'm doing, in some ways it's stronger.
Yeah. Yeah. You could see the side facing photo, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what I see here, if I chop off her head, you look about 20 years younger.
Yeah. I feel
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Right? Just in your body. And again, you guys, this isn't about aesthetics, but how much would that impact your mood, your life, your energy if you knew your body looked and felt younger? Right? Because that's really what it's about. I would imagine you feel younger, but to see that difference is really crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? Look at that.
Yeah, this one's the most impactful to me because my backside is the least favorite part.
Not anymore.
And I honestly, and we've talked about this before, I didn't think I could actually get rid of any cellulite, but I have. I mean,
I'm
there's
stopping the
something
share.
there.
We got to talk about this because let's underscore that,
Yeah.
right? Like a lot of people believe that cellulite or the back of the thighs can't be changed. And you've been told that, by the way, by those MFers out there in the world. And so talk about that, because what a huge change in your backside in just 18 months. Holy cow.
Yeah, I mean, I really didn't think it was possible. And I'd heard Holly talk about it, and I was like, yeah, I can't, genetics, whatever else, which is true, right? I mean, I don't have any illusions that I'm going to be a supermodel or that my legs are suddenly going to grow 6 inches. But I've been amazed. I mean, I don't even think that the pictures show it that much. I'm getting so much more definition in my legs. Like when I flex and stuff, that I did not think was possible. And the cellulite, it's so much smoother that, I mean, even that alone is worth it.
Exactly. That is one of those things that a lot of us are uncomfortable with and would like to change. It's unfortunate because every single woman has it to one degree or another, and you can absolutely get rid of it, right? It's like, how old are you again? 54?
54.
Right? And that backside photo, again, if we chopped your head off, I bet if someone saw that, they would think late 30s, early 40s, maybe mid 40s, maybe just looking at your body alone. Really, really so huge. So huge. How are you on time? Do you have a couple more minutes?
Yep, I'm good.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So one more thing I wanted to share that, we talked about earlier, and I wanted to circle back on it, was talking about what you said in terms of, during your workouts, you really give it your best. So I want to share, if I can do it, I want to share your recent video submission of your barbell back squat. Okay, can you see the window?
Yes.
Okay. So here is Laura's video submission from, I'll explain why we did this video. Whoop, you can see it, right?
Yep.
Okay. And so you can really see here your intention. There's a sense of power. And it's a really darn good squat.
And it was early
So
in the
good.
morning.
What time was this? 5:36 in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is 10 reps, right?
Yep.
And that
It's hard
looks
to
like
film yourself.
it's so hard. Yeah. So good. Beautiful. I mean, just amazing, right? And the reason why I wanted to share that is so that we can talk about your awesome squat technique for one thing, but to also share with people kind of some allusion to the intensity of your workout. So that was 65 pounds, right? Or was it more than 65? Barbell
40,
plus 10s?
45. Yeah, 65.
65 pounds on your barbell back squat, which is impressive. What's the weight load of your squat now? Same?
So we talked about this Sunday on our call with Jen, and Jen helped me with a few adjustments on that, which were so helpful. I increased my weight load by 25 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
The last week.
What were the adjustments? Let's show your video again. Talk to us about the adjustments.
So as soon as she told me, I could tell, and then I could feel it, and I looked it up.
Okay, so talk to us. What did you change?
So here I go. And it's so great. It really is a good idea to submit your videos. You get such good feedback. So as I go down, you can see my butt kind of tuck under. I can't remember what that's called now.
It's called I'm going to take the sound off. It's called a butt wink.
Yeah, butt wink. So you can see my tailbone just kind of curve, like my lower back kind of curves, and my butt, I do a little butt wink and my tailbone kind of goes down. And so I quit squatting quite so low. And I also elevated my heels. I tried that.
Yep.
And just those little corrections kind of took that pressure off my back. And I mean, 25 pounds seemed really significant.
That's amazing. So you went from 65 to plus 25 pounds, 90. What's that, 90?
80.
I can't 80. Add. 80. Okay. Yeah, clearly, right? I can't add here.
No, you're right. 90.
90. Sorry. It is 90, right? 65. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 90, right? Amazing. And the fact that those were literally the only two adjustments you needed to make. Everything else was great. Your lower back was great. Your angle is great. Everything else was great. And the fact that you just made those two changes and boom, it's better. You're able to do more weight because you've got better technique. And the more weight you do, the more your body changes, you guys. There really is a direct correlation. It's so huge. I'm so proud of you. And it's such a good squat in general. And I agree with you. So for those of you guys that are listening, this is the first time in this program that Laura's in right now. It's called the Masters. It's the first time that I mandated that each of the members send over these video, video checks, exercise form technique checks each week so that we can really help them refine it. And the truth is you probably would have never done that if I didn't make you, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. I know. We're finding out that's like one of the best things I've ever done, because it gets you more comfortable with doing it. And it also allows us to make sure that you've really got your technique down, because now that your squat's heavier, your backside's going to change more and more and more and more.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was just like the progress photos, right? Like
Yeah.
those weren't comfortable. If you don't send them, you're not going to get that feedback, and you're not going to be really held accountable. I wasn't, right? If I
Yeah.
knew I was doing progress photos, I'm going to work on it a bit. And so same idea with the videos.
Yeah. Yep. It does. It's a different level of accountability when you know someone is going to see it or assess it,
Yeah.
right? You think of it differently, and it's a fabulous tool.
Yeah.
I want to be respectful of your time. What else have we not covered? Is there
Gosh.
any other aspect of your journey that you think is important? Or if there's a woman watching right now, whether it's live or in playback, who too believes at this time that changing her body may not be possible or isn't possible, what would you share that might inspire her or actually shed the light of truth for her?
Yeah, so I think for me, this journey has been all about kind of not putting limits on myself, right? And in a lot of different areas of my life. And I talked about this a little bit before, where I'm the caretaker, right? I have a demanding work, I have demanding home life. I'm kind of the go-to person in a lot of people's lives. Um, but this helped me put limits on myself, which I can still be that person, but I don't have to take on everyone's burdens. And in fact, I can advocate, I can show care, I can help you, but I don't have to take on all the emotions and the problems that go along with that. And in fact, I can be a better person for myself because I'm showing up. I can show up for other people even more. And this is my not selfish, I don't even like that part of it, but this is a thing that I do for myself every single day. And it keeps me centered, and it helps me keep a little control in my life in a world where we don't often have the luxury of having control of our lives. So, and it's a constant journey. Like, we are flawed humans. And where am I going to take this from here? I'm just like, I'm not stopping. Like, I'm just excited to see how I can continue to grow, not just physically, but where does that take me, and how does that allow me to open up other parts of my life? Like, we can do it. We can do amazing things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's one of the ways that I see what we're talking about today as either a metaphor or a representation of how it impacts the rest of your life. Because once you get to experience this in your physical body, your brain automatically is like, well, what else could I do in life
Yeah.
because of this? And that's ultimately what I'm about, is using this skill and this practice to help women become better in their physical body, because I know you're going to be better in the world when you're better in your physical body, whatever that definition is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just are such an inspiration of that. I feel like you're exactly the story that I've wanted to tell, and exactly the experience that I want every woman to have. So thank you for that. What's next for you?
So I'm gonna hit this master's program hard. I'm really dedicated to my goals this time.
What's your
And
January 1st goal?
I will increase my lean body composition by at least 3%.
Love it. Good
And
job.
I have an additional one that
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a full body pull-up.
Chin-ups. Yep. Which I wanted to talk to you about. I've been meaning to talk to you about that. We've got to make sure it's in the mix so that you're practicing it so that we get you better. Okay. We'll talk about that. Or, I mean, if you want to talk about it now, we can. But like I said, I want to be respectful of your day and your time. Is there any way I can support you today? Any questions?
I think I'm so good. Like, I'm loving the programming. I'm working through some kind of diet calorie stuff right now and energy levels, but I think I'm making it through. And again, this has just introduced me to the best community and the best, like, I feel like I have my tribe out there. I have, you know, these
Yeah.
women that are, and we're all struggling with the same kind of things. And it's
Mhm.
just great to, be empowered and have people out there that understand the same struggles.
Yeah. Yeah. Feels like you're part of a team and
Yep,
you've got a support system.
it does.
Yep. To not be in it alone. Whew.
Yeah.
What's your blood type? You're an A?
I'm an O.
You're an
That
O.
acts like an A.
Okay. All right. So as you're working with your energy and your food,
Mhm.
consider more carbohydrates
Yeah.
as an
Okay.
option. You might need it with these workouts and with the amount of muscle that you're building.
Okay.
Okay. Even if it's 45%.
Yeah.
That would be the first thing I'm thinking of. If something's going on energy wise or fueling wise or hunger, let's tinker with that and see what happens.
Okay. Yeah. I
Okay.
am struggling with that. I have in my mind's eye where I want to be. And so that struggle of putting on more muscle and at the same time losing body fat,
Yeah.
it's a
Yep.
fine balance.
It is. It's a very fine balance. You're already doing it. So to some degree, we just keep going and refining exactly what it is, right? Because it's like you got to have enough energy to build the muscle, but you also have to have not too much energy so that your body will release the fat as well. And it can happen in the same cycle. You and Jennifer both are proof of that. So yeah, if you want to troubleshoot that and work with that, let me
Okay.
know. Okay. Submit a support form, or we can plan to discuss that at the next coaching call or in between if we need to. But I want to let you go because I know I've kept you way longer than I intended to. I feel like we could keep talking
I know we
forever,
could do this forever. Yeah.
for real. And I would love
Yeah.
to, but that's selfish. So, but thank you,
Thank
thank
you.
you, Laura. Like, you are going to inspire so many women, and what an incredible gift that by up leveling your life, you're going to inspire a lot of other women to do the same thing. And that's just like so beautiful. So thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Holly. You know how I feel about you. And I just challenge all you women out there that are listening or watching, like, go for it, right? Like, there's no reason not to.
Yeah.
And you can make big changes at any point in your life.
And it's worth it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, my love. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon.
See you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys, and that is it. I'm coming on over for some questions and some comments. I told you that would be amazing, right? Like, I have chills again. It's just like a nonstop chills, just so good. And as I said, my whole intention for having this conversation with Laura and sharing some of these photo assets is so that you can see, you can do hard things, and your body is only as limited as your thinking is. You can change your body. There's a lot of women that are doing it every single day. And I know it's easy for me to say that. And it's really important for you to hear it from someone other than me. So I'm so glad that you guys were here. Heidi is here. Oh, wonderful. Mary Tanny, hello. I can't say, but wanted to say hi to you both. Good for you for sharing your story. Wonderful. Woohoo. Facebook user. I don't know who Facebook user is. I know you, but oh, Christy Hertzberg. Hello, how are you? Oh, the hot cinnamon sunset. Yes. Oh, I got to get that one too because that's a great herbal. Love it. Guys, any questions, let me know. I'm going through all the comments here. Thanks so much for all of your comments, you guys. Liz, thank you for sharing. So glad I watched this interview today with you guys. Needed the encouragement to keep going with my diet and exercise and to continue to push through with what I've been learning from Holly, and seeing Laura's progress is so encouraging. Wow, just awesome. Gives me the encouragement I need right now. And that's exactly why we're doing it, because we all need some inspiration and some encouragement at various times. And this is your what's the word? This is your, I can't think of what the word I'm looking for is, but this is a message for you to say, go for it. If you want to be better, if you want to be stronger, if you want to be leaner, or if you just want to feel better, it's absolutely possible. And it's just a function of getting the right strategy and taking action and giving it time. That's really all it is. Strategy, taking the action and giving it time. And if you keep doing that, you will continue to get better and better and better and better and better. Michelle, I so hear you. Thank you for that comment because it's really true. We are so prone to self-sabotage and we don't need to be. So thank you for that comment. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I will see you next week for another episode of Hot Tea with Holly. And if you ever would like to request to be a part of one of these community coaching sessions, feel free to send me an email at holly@hollyperkins. And probably once a month or so, I'm going to be doing episodes like this where I offer free coaching and answering any questions that you have around your own journey or your own body transformation. So if you would like to submit an application and to join me for one of those episodes, just send me an email. And until then, I will see you guys next time. Have an awesome week.